Coach, just wanted just see how practice went. I know you had some things you wanted to get accomplished going into the opener with this gap of time, and just a little injury update. I didn't know what the status of Chris, Dario, and Mikal, obviously with that fall he took, and Abdel, but if we get an update on that as well.
Practice was good, spirited, competitive. We're getting our conditioning where it needs to be. I think guys are in NBA, somewhat NBA game shape, but now I feel like we're starting to get in, the kind of shape you have to be in for us, as hard as we like to play and move on offense. So that is, it's good to see. And the injury update is about the same. Mikal practiced today. All of our guys were on the floor and doing stuff, and we feel good about where they are and moving forward. Dario is the only guy that is about the same as he was last week or a couple days ago.
And Coach, just a follow up on that. Wanted to ask about Damian. He was just on here. Now that you've got a bigger sample size through 4 games, I know he had the struggles with Utah as far as battling Gobert in favorites, but then on the flip end, showed the athleticism that you guys probably saw him coming in, but just your overall view of him now that you've got 4 games to look at.
I think he's getting more comfortable. It takes a minute to, understand the languages and unique differences in our vocabularies based on where he was and where he is now in respect to the teams he played on. So I think he's getting more comfortable in our coverages. Today, he stayed in his box offensively and had a huge effect on the rim. Offensive rebounding, he does a really good job tapping the ball out. So that's how I would phrase it. He's just getting more comfortable every day.
Next is Kellen Olsen with Arizona Sports.
Hey, Coach. Around this time last year with Mikal, when we were talking about him offensively, it was about finding that back cut, finding a bucket in transition to get him going, and now we see him facing up off the dribble against LeBron and scoring a few times on him. The offensive improvement for him when it comes to confidence this past year has been pretty remarkable. What have you seen from him just in the past year recently when it comes to that improvement for him?
Just a commitment to the work. He's a diligent worker. He was with our staff pretty much the whole offseason. He's a conscientious worker. Weight room, his body, being with the coaches every day, and that's something that we feel like when a guy is developing is really important, to understand what we do, how we do it, our languages, and then have the ability to, do it every day. That's what he's done. And so I just see obviously a comfort level with what we do because he's been in it for a year. We're trying to put him in situations where he can, show he's a bit more versatile than just slashing and catching and shooting. We feel like he can put the ball on the ground and make plays for himself and other people.
Next is Dwayne Rankin with the Arizona Republic.
Just on Dario, I know you're saying he can miss practice or he can miss games and still be okay because of the way he plays and knows how to play. Are you hopeful that he's able to, you're going to throw him right in there on the opener? I mean, I'm just curious how you feel like he can blend in when he hasn't played with the guys that, you're trying to figure out how to use in rotations and stuff.
Well, we'll see. We're not quite sure how that's going to work out because we got a couple of days, but we're hopeful that the stuff he's doing on the side, he's been in some 5-on-0 situations, and he has familiarity with the offense because some of our stuff is the same as it was in Philly when he was there. So we're hopeful that, he can get out there and bump a little bit with everybody, but we'll have to see.
And just a follow with Jay Crowder, it just seemed like he came in and played, and it's been a seamless fit for him. I mean, are you surprised he's looked the way he's looked? I know he's a pro and he's played in a bunch of systems and obviously is a very good player, but are you surprised it seemed like he's picked it up from just an observing in the game part of what you guys do?
I'm not surprised. He's a guy that understands how to play with pace, how to play without the ball. He has a really good IQ for the game on both ends. So guys like that, I mean, him and Dario remind me of each other. Some similarities, some differences, but they just know how to play. You can put them with any group of players and they figure it out. So Jay coming in and just fitting with the group is great for us. And I value guys like Jay. You don't call plays for him, and he figures out a way to be effective with his effort, with his IQ, and it's something that I don't take for granted.
Next is Kellen Olsen with Arizona Sports.
Hey, Monty, you were asked about Kevin Young the other day. Darko was a guy that you guys lost on the coaching staff, and I know I just asked about Mikal. I know he worked with Mikal a lot on his shot. How has the progress been for you just with the coaching staff in terms of the guys coming in, guys coming out, and getting everyone acclimated in that space of the team?
It's been fine. I don't think there's been any hiccups at all. Once we spent time together in the off season, teaching guys a lot of what we do is the same as another team. We may just call it something different. But for Kevin, it's been a bit easier because I learned a lot of the stuff that I'm doing now from my time in Philly. And so it was one of the reasons that we asked Kevin to come here because of that. We thought it'd be a seamless transition. And then you couple that with the fact that he's a really good coach and has a really good mind for both sides of the floor. But he's helped me a ton to expand our secondary offense with some different ideas, and the players have taken to it.
Final question comes from Dwayne Rankin with the Arizona Republic.
Yeah, Coach, was talking with Devin after the game, and I've known this about him, but I'm just curious from a coach's perspective. A lot of people look at what he can do and the mental part of the game, him knowing where to be, how to read defenses and things of that nature. When did you see that up close for the first time and said, wow, he's got a mind for this that maybe is advanced from maybe what an average or above average guy has?
I guess I think I talked to you guys about it last year. The impact that his dad has had on him, teaching him the game. Melvin's a guy that, I competed against. We were in college about the same time, and he's a basketball player. He's a pro basketball player. You can see like he had a huge impact on Devin's IQ along with his skill, and but Devin's also a guy that studies the league. When we talk about different teams or games, I know he's one of the guys that's watching games. And so I think that adds to your IQ, and maybe it's just a gift. I can't give you a concrete answer on that, but I think the impact of his father, his own study of the game, and then some guys just have it. I wasn't like that. I have to work at it. Those guys just see the game differently.